All right, what is up? Welcome to Bougie Banter the Podcast. I'm your girl, Nisha B. It's my sister, Tasha Too Funny, and my mom, Dr. Fletcher. So, first, I wanted to start with showing you guys who is sponsoring our first episode here with Bougie Banter, and it is One Hope Wine. And this is the natural almond flavor. We are drinking sparkling wine. Okay, so that is the one. Everybody has their little glasses filled. We have been drinking a little bit off camera. So, do you want some more?
No.
You want to talk?
No, I'm just playing. No, I gotta drive after this, so just a splash.
Just a little.
Okay, that's enough.
It's good. All right, so we have a couple topics that we want to cover today, but I think the first we my mommy look like that. Look.
What?
Who is you posing for?
This is Bougie Banter.
Lord. Why are you posing like that? That comfortable?
I'm comfortable. She's bougie.
So, what we're gonna start today with is a topic which is kind of something I feel like everybody deals with at some point. Friendships, letting people go, cutting people off, knowing when to cut them off and let them go. Tasha Too Funny, she has a thing she's gonna read for us, and then we'll kind of give our opinions from there.
All right, let me just get my little.
I can't. I will say though about real quick about the One Hope wine. First of all, link in our bio. This particular flavor, it's not terribly sweet. It's not bad though.
Yeah.
I'm getting into wines now. I'm not like this big wine person, but I'm learning wines.
Okay, so I got my little note card here. It says, okay, so if you have a friend who you feel is not reciprocating energy, not equally as supportive as you are to them, maybe you show up to all of their events and they don't show up to yours, or they're always coming up with excuses, or maybe maybe they judge your lifestyle or your lifestyle choices, and you're trying to decide whether or not it's appropriate to ghost them, essentially. Ghost them. Ghosting, when we say ghosting, we're defining ghosting as, and this is for you, Mom, I know you're a little bit older, but ghosting is when you're saying, like, I blocked you, deleted you, moved on from my life, no explanation needed, I'm moving on. I feel like the situation's dead, I'm moving on. So do you feel like that's appropriate, and when is that appropriate?
Well, I'll say I don't spend too much time. If I feel like this relationship has ran its course, if I feel like, like I've even noticed some different like favoritism in friendships. And if I just feel like, this relationship is not equally yoked anymore, I am, the giver and not receiving anything at all, which I'm fine with that in some cases, but no, not for a long term quality friendship. No, it has to be, there's something that we expect to get back. And I expect to have a quality friend. So for me, I guess I would ghost you. Um, yeah, I would just kind of like, because the thing is, if it's one sided anyway, it's just a matter of me not reaching out anymore. It's not like you were doing all the work anyhow, so I would just stop reaching out, and then it'll kind of fade away anyway. Because
But what if they are reaching out? What if they are reaching out? They just don't think they're a good friend.
Not much.
Well, okay, first of all, I don't like this habit that people have of putting everything on social media. That's first and foremost. I don't consider if I have an issue with you and you put something up on social media, we're not really friends. Because if we're friends, you're going to come and you're going to talk to me.
Right.
And also, I feel like there's levels to everything. So I don't really ghost people because there's nothing to ghost. You already know where you are with me, what level you're on, and I don't so easily call you a friend.
Yeah.
We're associates. So if we're associates, I associate with you from time to time. So why do I need to ghost you? Because we're not friends anyway. I don't feel like there's any expectation of me because we're not on that level anyway. And then if I call you my friend, and everybody does not get to be called my friend. If I call you my friend and we're having some type of issues, we should be able to talk. And if we can't talk, because for me, I will not deal with you if you put me on social media.
If we can't talk, delete and block. Okay? That's what ghosting is. Because for me, ghosting doesn't happen Monday, then Tuesday. If I call you a friend, you're actually my friend. That means we've been friends for a while. And over this time, we've had so many occasions where I felt like, okay, no, that's not cool. And I said something to you. You disregarded what I said. You didn't take it seriously. And just like any relationship where I feel like, okay, this is no longer working for me, baby, ain't no 2 weeks notice. I already told you one time before, 2 times before, 3 times before. Clearly, who you are as a person and who I am as a person is not lining up. It's not meshing anymore. And now you got to delete and block.
Yeah. I'm not big on blocking. I'm not big on blocking, but I will. You don't exist to me. So for me, it's not so much, oh, I need to block you, because I don't care. If you want to, my stuff is public. If you want to see it, that's fine. I don't have a need to block anybody. But for me, it's more of, you don't exist anymore. So I'm not reaching out. I'm not trying to have any correspondence.
The thing is that you have to work your way up. So you don't start at friend with me. You start at, like I said, as an associate, and I would have known as that associate. Hey,
all right, really say this a person you knew for a couple of years, like
someone you actually do call friend,
right? Somebody you've known for a long time. How do you end that relationship?
See, that's just it. The people that I've known for a long time that I call friend, we will always be friends.
But the
we
thing
will
is,
always be friends.
But you know what? I thought that too. And there's people I've grown up with, and I now have cut off because you outgrow people. But I don't feel like you stay the same.
I think it's a difference between somebody. I'm in my 50s. You see what I'm saying? So it's different. When they were children, and we've already made it through those 20s and all of that, and remained friends. So if I'm your friend, today, we will always be friends.
I disagree. Because I'm in my 30s, and I've had friends since I was like 10, 9, 10. And I'm sorry, but I do think that
but 9, sometimes 10, that's a child.
But we've made it since then until 30.
But this is also the thing. The only people that are permanent in my life are my kids. Anybody else?
I'm not permanent in your life.
My mother, you're my mom. I'm your kid.
Yeah. So like you're saying more so immediate.
You know what I'm saying? Immediate family are the only people that are permanent in life. And even then, there have been, because we have a good relationship, but some people moms are trash. And even they are not permanent in your life. And people have known each other for years and years and years and years, but over those years you change. You grow also, apart. Okay, say for instance, you come into a large amount of money. And they start acting jealous or shady. And that's or whatever.
That was gonna be my
point. That happens. Even if y'all been friends for 20 years, it happens with couples, spouses.
I was like, because people do get jealous. So then what? As you've succeeded, if you were to have gone so far past them,
I guess,
and they start treating you different.
I just have some people that have been moved. That through me growing up might have been my friend at one time, and now we're just associates.
Right. And that's more so how I feel.
But is there anything that's cut off delete, block worthy.
So that's why I feel like for
So
me,
putting me on social media is block.
If
I don't
you
do
write
that.
if you write a subliminal post about me on social media, you
No, you're not my friend. I'm done.
right, and at that point,
that's the thing. Don't
right,
put
and
no.
I'll say that for relationships that I actually genuinely cared about, that I currently that I've actually nourished myself, that people that I've grown up with, the people like that I've grown up with, and we just go our own way. That's it. There's no words that need to be said about you. There's no, oh, I don't mess with so and so. There's none of that. I don't need to do that. It is what it is. It's done.
Yeah, because if
There's no ill feelings. I don't wish you.
if you
I don't wish
post
nothing
it
on you.
on social media, now that I'm thinking about it, if you post it on social media, that lets me know that we're not friends.
Mhm.
Because my friend would have been like, "Girl, what's up with you?" Because that's a relationship. But I shouldn't feel guilty for deleting and block somebody who blasts me on social media because they don't look at me as a friend. So why should I look at them as a friend?
Right.
I'm gonna delete and block you because what for me personally, seeing you even in that quick second could possibly remind me of a negative emotion that I once felt. And I don't want to feel any extra negative emotions that I don't have to feel. So you have to be deleted and blocked because I don't want to see nothing that you got going on. I want you deleted out of my mind and out of my memory.
And I can do that without blocking or deleting. Like I don't. People usually remove themselves. I don't really have to remove them because in my world, in my world, you don't exist anyway. Once I'm good on you, you don't exist.
But what do you consider to be a relationship that's not reciprocated? When you say support,
Right.
what does support mean?
If I invite you to my event or something, or I go out and come to your event, I'm supporting you as a friend. I'm showing up for you in the different spaces. That's a friend.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, I as a friend, I should be listening to you and know about the things that you might need, and we're having these conversations. And as a friend, I need to say, okay, how can I help her or him, whatever, whoever my friend is? How can I help you as a friend in the capacity that doesn't hurt me? But as a friend, I can show up for you. How
that's
can
relationships? Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing. It's a relationship, and is this now a one-sided relationship? If I'm the only one who's showing up, right. If I'm the only one there, then you see what I'm saying? Like this isn't that type of relationship.
When it comes to that support thing, that support thing bothers me. Well, I guess it depends on what you consider support. Because there's a lot of talk about support, and I understand what you said about going to an event to support. What I find is a lot of times people want you to support, like, buy my book, buy this, buy that.
Come to my event.
My thing is, when I look at people's book, is this something that I'm interested in?
Is it something that I want?
And that, to me, I don't care, because the thing is, I don't want to have to buy your book and then you have to buy my book. I don't want to do that. What I want is to build or to write a good enough product,
create a quality product
that you need,
right?
That I actually meet a need, and I want to continue to work until I can get a product that is of need.
Okay, so to that point, I feel like, okay, yes, no, your friends should not be considered your customer.
Right.
I don't start a business and say, I hope all of my friends buy this, or you're not a real friend. That's not the kind of support I'm talking about.
I can't pay your rent.
I'm talking about support in your capacity that doesn't take away from you.
Right.
As a friend, how can you show up for that person? How can I show up for you without it harming me? That's what I'm talking about as far as being an actual genuine relationship. Because if you can't even show up for me, it don't have to be no event. You don't got to come to my event. You can check in. I check in with you as a friend, as a relationship. You have to do work for any relationship to survive. What are you doing for it?
Okay, so my best friends, and I think they're my best friends because they understand the way that I work, the way that I am. I am not the call you everyday friend. However, I have been a call you everyday friend for a friend who needed a call every day.
Right.
And I will do that for her. But my best friends know and understand that, baby, if you're not here in the room with me, this ADHD mama I'm sorry, I can't see more than 5 feet in front of me.
Right.
Whatever is going on in front of me right now in this moment is what's priority. So I have my very best friends who might check in with me twice a year. We sit on the phone for 3 hours. We catch up on everything, and you are still my best friend. And I guarantee you, my best friend in California right now, my best friend in Chicago right now, my best friend in Virginia right now, my best friend in Raleigh right now. If I call them and say, hey, I need you, they on the way, period. No matter how long it's been since I talked to them, those are my best friends. If you think that I need to come to every baby shower, every birthday party, every single thing that you got going on, baby, when I woke up Saturday morning, I planned on going to your birthday party. But by Saturday afternoon, the kids was coughing, the car broke down, my husband had to work, and I'm not coming no more. If we not friends no more because of that, then guess what? Delete and block.
Y'all get your wine if you haven't already.
This
One
is
Hope.
kind of fun.
Get your wine if you haven't already. One Hope. Link in our bio.
It's in God's hands now.
With the AI technology, some people don't like it. Some people do. Some people know they're going to be out of jobs. So I don't have a real opinion on it. I'm not against it, but it doesn't affect any of my jobs. So
Well, let me share something. Some posts that are going around. They're starting to use AI not only in jobs, because it was one time that all you had was, which this is a form of AI. You go into these stores and you're kind of bagging your own stuff, or you go to McDonald's and they have a kiosk where you put your order in.
Yeah.
And now they don't need as many employees behind the counter because they have this system that you already done put the order in, and they just, a couple of them can get the food. And if you're dealing with less employees, it's good. But the problem is they're coming down, they're using AI. They have a couple of mix songs where artists are on these songs and they've never sang together.
Yeah, they're using their voices.
And they're using their voice and their likeness, and they're doing these things. And in fact, one of these, they had a stop order or something on one of these sites because they were showing this duet. They was playing this duet.
Yeah.
And okay, so now with that, because I do use AI. I like AI.
Me too.
I feel like as a writer, it will help me to when I have writer's block, when I'm stuck in as a part, it will move me forward. Now, it cannot, for me, it cannot create what is in my mind because it doesn't understand in that way. It won't write a full story. However, if I'm stuck on a part, it will help me to move. And then I still have to, it gives me just ideas, and I have to go and still create it out of my mind. So I do like the AI. I don't feel like it should replace certain things. Like, I do want to see if an artist is singing or whatever, I want to hear that artist. I don't want to hear the computer
generated version.
But what about the people that do want to hear the computer sing it?
Well,
can't there be an artist for that? Because if I'm like Beyonce or something, I don't come try to sing and do my voice,
and then I don't get paid for it.
Right? But don't use my likeness.
Against the law. Okay, so the way I stand on AI, I personally like AI, but I feel like two things. One, like my mama said, evolve or evaporate.
Yeah.
If they taking your jobs, find a new job. Evolve or evaporate. That's what we do. People will figure it out. But also, the second thing I was going to say is that people have always been bad. There are always going to be bad people. When the internet came, they were like, yeah, this is going to be huge. This is going to be scary. This is going to be bad. But we worked it out. We figured it out because there are more good people than bad people. There will always be bad people doing bad things. We have all of this amazing technology where you can just scan, tap your phone and go. Well, guess what the scammers did? They started tapping your pocket.
Tapping everything.
Sorry, tap it. There will always be bad people. So should we resist progress because of the fear of bad people?
That's
because
true.
of the fear of people stealing? Me personally, I'm not that that educated on AI, so y'all can go ahead and comfort me. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, would I rather have a machine do my open heart surgery or a human?
I don't
Me
know.
personally, I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, I'd rather have the machine
I mean,
because a human can have a bad day.
what is a human that?
A
But-
human,
but
a
hold
human
up,
can
hold
make
up, hold
human
up,
error.
hold up.
I don't have
A computer can have a glitch.
That's
and
true.
there you go. I don't know.
Wait a minute
But
now.
also, it's
That's true.
it's a human who put that machine together.
Exactly. But when I think about AI, I think about you taking your time, you're moving slow, you're being meticulous, and you're going through the details, and there's other people double checking and cross checking, and then you have the computer checking.
Mm.
Whereas a human, they have literally human error every day. They just might be tired that day. They might be a little sleepy that day. They might just had an argument. I mean, think about the episode of, or the whole premise of being married. I mean, what's her name? Not Mary Jane. The other one, Spanish girl, Jane the Virgin. And the doctor was having an argument with her girlfriend and ended up putting artificial insemination into the wrong person. Stuff like that happens, but I feel like if I go to McDonald's at an AI machine, my fries gonna be hot. My burger ain't gonna have no pickles on
And
it.
I think that's what it comes down to. Maybe it's in what capacity you're looking at the AI in. So if it's helping you with writer's block, yeah, go for it. If it's helping me at McDonald's, y'all don't want to go to work anyway. I mean, should we really, who trying to smell like grease all day? Y'all trying to smell like grease all week? Y'all it be stank.
And there's so many jobs that I feel like AI cannot replace.
Right. And
Counselors.
yeah.
Well, maybe an AI could
Well,
replace
I don't know.
yeah, I think it could.
and a therapist.
I think
too.
it could replace a therapist. Now, I'm
I don't
just saying,
know.
like, I know the last time I went to a restaurant, they were so short-handed, and the restaurants do not pay enough.
No.
They
Nobody
just don't.
does. Nobody
Yeah.
does.
And that's one of people's issues because now they're like, okay, well, this software is here and it's taking the job, but y'all aren't trying to pay us decent in the first place.
But
So,
truth be
but
told,
if you're not paying me good in the first place, and then now y'all mad the service is bad, shouldn't something change as far as?
But the thing is,
But should we get paid what we're worth?
But
Because
wait a
if
minute.
we're giving you our life, our
but you
time,
got
we
to
don't get it back.
understand that now the food goes up higher,
yeah,
and with the way inflation was and everything, it's starting to go down. But with the way
cancel
inflation was,
billionaires.
people were saying, I'm not. It's not worth it to go to this restaurant. Period.
But okay, let's look at
You can choose where you
not,
pay
or if not fast food, let's look at like just waiters. Waiters don't get paid. They're working off of, they get like what, $2-3 or something like that.
And that's
an hour?
wrong. That was always wrong.
And they just work off tips.
So-
and if you get a cheap person who spent like $500 or something, they will give you $5 tip.
Okay, but
What
I
you
know
supposed to do
some
with that?
I know some servers who
Right.
make you want to be a server because they make thousands, especially
Right, but that's
in a
not the
club
norm.
atmosphere.
Right.
Who knows what the norm is?
That's not everybody's experience.
But this
though.
is my thing. You name a person in their right mind who would continue to work at a job that does not pay their bills.
There's a lot of people doing that.
It's a lot of people who do, but at some point you gotta do something else.
I mean, I don't know.
Because
Yeah,
it's
you
like
have to do
supply and
something
demand.
else.
It's
I mean,
supply
yeah.
and demand. It's supply and
If-
demand.
I don't know.
and during the Industrial Revolution, you had a lot more assembly jobs,
Mhm.
type of jobs. But as things change,
Yep.
you have to change with the time.
Evolve or
Yeah.
evaporate. And just like if of a server, say any job, doesn't matter if you're a server, it doesn't matter if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, lawyer, whatever. The moment you sit down and say, you know what, this is not working for me, then you have a choice and you have to start working towards something different.
Mm.
Everybody working towards somebody different is going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to move on to something different, or you're going to have to deal with what you got until you get where you want to go, so on and so forth. Should they pay servers more? I think so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But as a business owner,
Yeah, that's true.
as
If
a
I can't-
business owner,
Well, especially as like a small business owner.
yeah.
If it's
And it
small
has
and we
to-
ain't even catching
and
checks, I
whatever
ain't trying
we
to be paying
do,
you like that.
whatever we decide to do has to be across the board.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, all of this is really just bickering amongst the bottom. Because the people up top, they're going to be up top regardless.
Right.
We're just bickering amongst the bottom. Okay, you pay me more, so you have less. And honestly, realistically, when I think about how much is enough, when I think about, okay, they say minimum wage doesn't pay for a 2-bedroom apartment anywhere in America. Okay, that's a problem. But then when I think about it on the flip side, and when I look at me and my husband's taxes last year, and they talk about, oh, y'all made good money. This, I'm like, how? Where? Huh?
Yeah,
Now, if you
I ain't
tell
talking.
somebody, oh, this how much y'all made it, this how much you made, and you're like, oh, that does sound like a lot. But when you try to spread it out over cars and clothes and a mortgage and food, but me, I like quality foods. So quality foods, vacations and nights out, and just living life and trying to live life abundantly, it can get expensive. It can get expensive real quick. The Bible says, have what you need and nothing more. That means, really, I mean, how much, what do we really need? Food,
I need a
water,
lot.
shelter. Food, water, shelter, and nothing more.
I need a lot.
So what do you say, how much is a fair wage? Because, like, what kind of lifestyle I'm supposed to be living? Because I could be living a car, there's many different kinds of cars, and different levels of expenses on the cars, too.
Lord, I need a lot.
No.
Amen.
I'm just saying.
All right. So, all right, let's talk about y'all, because both of you are and have been stay-at-home wives. I'm not married, so salute, holla at me. DMs is open. Yeah. So let's talk about for y'all's whole like process as far as the power dynamic and or for instance, why is being a stay-at-home wife possibly alluring for so many people? Why is that something that is so popular? Even like the topic of provider men.
Okay. So I want to first say, to each his own. What works for one might not work for the other. What works in my house might not work for another house. How my house is working is working pretty good so far. We'll see how it is because things change. I'm a stay-at-home wife at the time, but I am not a kept woman. I do dishes. I mop floors. I change diapers every single day. I'm exhausted by the time I go to bed. And my husband understands and appreciates that and helps as much as he can. I mean, we're both given this family in this home everything we got. I mean, we're both given 100%. Um, but we want our kids to have a certain type of lifestyle and a certain type of upbringing. If the lifestyle and upbringing that we wanted for our kids required more money, then I would go to work. But at this time, it requires more nurturing. So I'm at home with my kids. I still bring in money though, because I'm a get money type of woman.
Right. My question then is, before DJ you respond, why do you say you're not a kept woman then?
I feel like a kept woman is wealthy. A kept woman is, I mean, she might pick up after herself a little bit because she's still a human, and a human doesn't have to still feed themselves and clean up after themselves and so on and so forth. But I work around my house. I work. I'm literally managing a business that is my house. I have a housekeeper that's coming. She needs to be paid on time. I have the gardener who's coming who needs to be paid on time. I have all of the bills, mortgage, electric, Wi-Fi, all the different insurances, so on and so forth, that all have to be managed and paid and billed at a certain time. The house has to be kept up. I'm a daycare provider. I am a nurse. I was just at the emergency room for 6 hours with my 2 daughters. That's a full day. I was exhausted by the end of it. And then at night, I have to do breathing treatments on my kids every 4 hours, medicine around the clock. I am working all day long. A kept woman for me, to me, is either a trophy wife. No kids, probably. I don't know. I've never been a kept woman, so I don't know. No kids, probably. Or if she has kids, she has 3 or 4 nannies who are helping. She has a full-time live-in housekeeper. She has a chauffeur. I'm all of those things. I work more now than when I worked a job, because when I worked a job,
You can
F
skate.
that job. It was F that job. Okay, so
Real quick,
I
to the
got a
single
moment.
guys in the back,
Can you put me some
I want to
water?
be kept. Thank you,
Yeah,
Doctor.
I don't want to be a kept woman though.
Keep me
So.
in the house, relaxing. I like to shop. Dr. Fletcher.
Okay, for me, well, I've been I have been a homemaker
Oh,
Yeah,
a homemaker.
A homemaker. That's the word.
Okay.
most
I'm a
of my
homemaker.
life.
So, all right, then what's the difference of a stay-at-home mother or a wife versus the homemaker?
I make the home a home.
I do every single day.
And you know, I've always say that I manage the manor.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And managing a home is a lot.
It is a lot. It
Right.
is a lot. And I've always, when y'all was small, we consciously made a decision because, as Tasha said, when the kids are small, they need nurturing. So I didn't go to school. I didn't do anything until you were old enough. I was home so that if you called, if I needed to show up at the school, I could go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was there through all of the years. I didn't have to deal with a lot of the. Y'all didn't try to do anything after school, sneaking off and doing little things because I was in your business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I was there, 100%.
Yep.
I raised my kids.
Yeah.
And which allowed him to be able to go to work, and he worked 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, while I managed the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I took care of my children and ran the house. And it has always been that way in our relationship. When y'all got older, that's when I went back to college and was able to do some things, outside of y'all. When y'all grew up, I've never really worked outside of home. I might have a little something, but I've never, my priority has always been the home. And it does take, things don't just happen at home, like even now you can come to my house and I'll have several people here working in the home because we have such a big house now.
That's managing employees. I'm sorry.
And I'll have somebody doing the lawn. Somebody, I'm making appointments for people to come and clean the carpets or whatever. I constantly have a flow of people coming, but I think the original question was the power dynamic.
So, okay, like for instance, when we grew up, how for some people, once the kids are grown, they break up. So, and part of my question then is, as far as the power dynamic, how do you manage, like I said earlier, evolving or evaporate? Either the relationship evolves or it goes away.
And
So
it did
how do
evolve.
you how do you, I guess, approach managing the growth in the relationship as the power dynamic changes? Because now it's no more of raising these children. We're grown now.
Mm-hmm. Well, when y'all was younger, I was young too. I was a young mom.
Mm-hmm.
So he was older than me, and I leaned on him for his experience in life because I had never been on my own. I only lived on my own for 2 months, and it was terrifying. So I leaned on him to be that support, and he taught me how to drive.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't a power struggle initially because I was just so young that I did not know anything to want to battle him on.
Right.
He was like my protector. So I was like, when he would present stuff to me or he'd be asking me questions. I remember him asking me, how did I want to decorate the house? Well, I had been in my mom's house. How the heck I know how the house is supposed to be decorated? I never even had a chance to think about those kind of things. Mm-hmm. I didn't have this. My personality wasn't this personality where I felt like I needed to assert myself. Mm-hmm. That wasn't there because I was pretty much still a child. Then when I hit my 30s, suddenly I was like, take the training wheels off.
Mm-hmm.
All right now, because I wanted to, I felt like I had lived some, mm-hmm. and I wanted to experience some things. And I'm going to tell you honestly, every 10 years, it felt like my 30s was different, my 40s was different, my 50s are different. Mm-hmm. What has sustained us is the fact that that we love each other. At the end of the day, whoever, because I've been many people through our relationship, he's loved every one of me.
Mm.
And he's willing to evolve with me. So he hasn't been, at first he doesn't, because my husband don't like a lot of change. So at first he's like, wait a minute, what? But then when it comes to the possibility of losing me,
yeah,
he comes back and say, okay, all right, so this is how we got to approach it now.
right.
This is how we approach it now. So it hasn't been, even though he has, and I'm telling you, because initially people don't like change.
So
Yeah.
do you feel like you submit to your husband? 'Cause that's always the word that
Oh,
go
yeah.
around is submission. Are you going to submit to your husband? Do you feel like you submit to your husband?
I have submitted to him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I have submitted to him throughout our entire relationship.
But
But I don't feel like he doesn't. We submit one unto another.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like he's saying everything is my way. Because it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
now, as y'all know, I'm the single one, so here's my little comment about that. I feel like he gave you something to submit to.
Absolutely.
He showed up for you.
Absolutely.
He's you
Because
grow.
I can trust him. I
Right.
can trust
And
him.
These are
I
genuine
trust
men.
him with my heart. I trust him to protect me.
I trust him with
Right.
my life, literally.
Right.
I do.
Trust him with my life.
And I think
I wouldn't have married him if I didn't.
right, and I think that is the difference.
And I don't see him as somebody. He has never shown me that he wanted to hurt me.
Right.
And on top of that, I respect him as a smart individual. Because if I come to my husband, okay, first of all, every relationship is different, right? Everything works for itself. But I play a very leading role in my relationship and in my household. My husband is still the husband, though. He's still my husband. He's still my man, and I still respect him. But in managing the house, he said, baby, because I asked him the same thing. What you think about the decorations for the house? He said, girl, this is your house. Mm-hmm. I bought this house for you to make a home. So however you want to run it, that's how you run it. Now, I respect him, and I respect his ideas. I respect his decisions, and I respect his whatever he says. Because like if I come to him, like when I wanted to rent out the bottom of our house, because we got the space for it, I said, baby, I want to rent the bottom of our house. I want to make money, blah 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 blah. And he says, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And that was enough.
Right.
Because if he doesn't think it's a good idea, I respect and I know that he's smart. And I trust his opinion. I trust his decision making. And if he thinks it's not a good idea, I don't need to argue with that. I'm going to submit to that. When I have an idea that I'm thinking about, I run it past the people that I respect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're not my husband all the time. Sometimes it's my mom. Sometimes it's my sister. Sometimes it's some of my best friends. Sometimes it's my mentor, my financial advisor, whomever, because I respect them in the position that they are in. So when they give me advice, I take heed to that.
Yeah.
But it does have to be a respect.
Right.
But you got to give me something to respect.
Talk about
Because
that.
you out here
That
acting
part.
a fool
There's nothing to respect there.
and messing up our house and causing drama and chaos in our home or messing up the money and making bad choices. I'm not going to respect you. So when you come to me and say, oh, I don't think we should do this or I think we should do that, I think you need to get out of my face. Because you're not making good choices.
I have a question for y'all. So say for a girlfriend, y'all live together.
Homegirl?
No, it's
Or I'm a
a
lesbian.
girlfriend. A girlfriend who lives with her man.
Oh, okay.
Right. So they're not at the marriage part yet. Maybe they're at the living together part.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to be submissive then? Should you submit at any point then?
I just feel like when you're not married, because I'm gonna tell you, me and Jamie whole demeanor changed when we became husband and wife because it's like we belong to each other. Or
What was the dynamic change, or what shift happened?
The commitment that you know
Yeah.
that this is for life.
This is for life.
It's like I'm now
that
a
I am
family.
chosen,
Mm-hmm.
and
commitment.
I chose him and he chose me,
Mm.
and it was just it's a different dynamic. And I personally, I'm not giving you everything. You just a girlfriend, boyfriend, because you can easily walk away.
Right.
There's nothing
There's
that
no real commitment.
holds you. No.
I can't say that because I truly feel like I'm gonna be who I am regardless. But I am a wife now. So I'm gonna act like a wife. I wasn't a wife before, so I can't be something I'm not.
So what was the difference in how you acted? Were there any moments of those submitting in?
The risk, the level of risk I'm willing to take is different with a boyfriend than it is with my husband, because I know my husband. Some people don't believe in marriage. Some people think, oh, it's just a piece of paper, and it might be just a piece of paper for some people, which is fine. But for me and for my husband, I know he takes marriage very seriously. Yeah. It is important to him. It don't have to be important to everybody. Some people, you don't have to take it seriously, but I know this person takes it seriously, whatever it is. Some fathers don't take fatherhood seriously. Some fathers will kill, steal, and destroy for their kids. My husband will kill, steal, and destroy from his wife. So with that being said, the level of risk I'm willing to take. So now if my husband comes to me and says, like he came to me the other day and said, baby, I think we need to start buying investment properties. I'm going to be looking at my bank, at the money that we both worked hard to get as a boyfriend. Boy, please. For instance, or even for real. For like a real life example. My husband, we can get a better interest rate if we both go on the loan together. I'm not going on no loan with a boyfriend.
That's right.
The risk I'm willing to take, because if all fails, I truly believe in my heart. I truly believe in my heart that my husband will not leave me. He has my back. Period. So I'm willing to take a certain more risk with him. A boyfriend, I'm not willing to take no risk. I'm not willing to put my neck out on the line. I'm not even willing to write you a reference on a job application, Joker. Because I'm not putting my name out there for you. It's a risk I'm not willing to take because you're my boyfriend. Right. You haven't taken that leap to say, I'm down with you no matter what happens. Right. And my husband, I know he has. So if he need me to co-sign on a loan, we're going to talk about it first. We're going to make sure that his mama not available. Because then maybe we can think about doing something else. And then but at the end of the day, I'm probably going to go ahead and do it.
Okay. I have another question then. When it comes to the whole girlfriend boyfriend thing. Okay, so you live with them. How long? Do you live with them until you expect something like a ring? Until you expect for them to, commit.
I think that part is individual. Each person decides. I wouldn't be one of them people that's there 10 years and you ain't never got married.
I think that's me personally.
But it's an individual. That's an individual decision as to how long you are willing to wait.
And if y'all not on the same page about that,
you said to put your life. Hold on. You said to put your life on hold.
You are, because I wouldn't. You are essentially putting your life on hold. And then also you got to think about the fact that if something happened to him, his family can come and take everything.
Right. You have no say on anything.
And sometimes when these families come in, they take your stuff too. They don't know who bought what.
Well, I think it really depends. I don't think you're putting your life on hold, because I was still alive the whole time, whether we married or not. I was still alive. I was still living. True. I was still getting achieving
but there's certain things that you might not be doing. Like, for instance, you said you wouldn't even buy a house.
But not even just that. You're no longer on the market at that point. You're not even giving yourself other options, because you have committed to this person that you're hoping is going to invest in the relationship too.
Maybe, but if I'm not hoping. Okay, for instance, right? People talk about P. Diddy and Cassie. They was together for 10 years and she ain't got nothing to show for it. I don't understand how you could be with P. Diddy for 10 years and have nothing to show for it. The experience alone. I mean, how many countries did she visit? How many front row tickets at Fashion Week in Milan did she have? How many VIP? I mean, and if you think about it, she was in her 20s.
But I'm not trying to be married in my 20s. She don't have nothing to show for it. But I will say that when she was ready to move on with her life,
Exactly.
did it.
that's why she had to go.
Yeah. And that's nothing wrong.
And
I
that's
think,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
I think
So
Because
you saying
if she would
it's
have
okay
stayed, her life would have been on hold.
Right.
When she
At
was
that
ready
point.
to move forward,
Mhm.
right then, she was in her 20s, so she was living her life.
Right.
But when you're ready to, so that's why I say it's an individual thing.
Right.
Yeah,
You know, when you say,
I'm
okay,
ready.
I'm ready for the next step.
Because
if
me
he
and
ain't ready, then you got to go.
Time to
My
go.
husband and I, we dated for 2 years. We dated for 2 years before we got married. But I was 30 and ready to settle down and have some kids. Now, if I would have met my same husband at 20 and he was saying 2 years from now, baby, no thank you. I'm trying to party. I'm trying to go live. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to, see what's going on. And I have no issue, because the type of person I am, I have no issue having one boyfriend the entire time that I was doing all that. Because I like having a boyfriend.
But
I like having a
again,
relationship.
But when you were ready, if he wasn't ready,
Right.
when you were ready,
And when I
then
told my
if
husband,
you stayed, your life is now on hold.
and that's your fault.
Yeah.
So therefore, you have to make a decision. It is each individual person,
Right.
but you have to make a decision as to when you are ready for that next step.
And not even just as an individual, but also as a couple, because this is a decision. A lot of people, and I don't understand it, the woman is ready for marriage, but she waiting on a man to propose. Baby, this is both of our life. We proposing to each other. Please.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm not.
You an individual.
Hold on.
I'm not saying propose.
I'm not saying.
I
not
get,
saying.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm
She's
not
saying don't put that power in his hand.
It's not in his hand.
Right, because
I'm
it's
not
up to
saying-
me to say yes or say no.
Facts.
But if you're not even offering, I need to go find somebody who is.
And I'm not saying that I'm gonna get on my knee and buy a ring, but you best believe that we had a conversation that said, it was a morning, it was like, baby, I'm ready to get married. And he said, I'm ready to get married too. We proposed to each other. Now, yes, for the pictures and Facebook, he went and bought the ring.
Okay.
And he got on one knee, and he set up the proposal, and he got the restaurant,
Right,
and he got the
he did his
photographer,
thing.
and he did all the things he was supposed to do. But being married is my life's decision as well.
Right.
It's not on him. And I said, baby, I'm ready to be married now. And if he won't try to come with the same, I'm ready to be married now, then I got a choice.
Right. Do I choose to sit and wait for you to get ready? Or do I find the person who is?
Right. And the relationships I was in previously, where I thought we were headed towards marriage, we had a conversation. And I said, I'm moving towards marriage. I'm ready to be married now. And he says, I'm way far from that. And I said, all right, then, well.
That's all.
I mean, it was really nice knowing you. And it was very sad. We cried together. We crowed. But at the end of the day, if you're not on the same page about when you're gonna get married, then how you gonna get married?
Or doing anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You done failed the test before you started.
Yeah. That's true. And having them conversations are
We
necessary.
was married 6 weeks after we was engaged. Because we were both ready to be married.
All right, so y'all, we're going to go ahead and close it out. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. If you have not clicked the link in our bio, please do. We have One Hope Wine.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it is all gone. The bottle we had today was our natural almond, which is like a sparkling wine with natural flavor added. So be sure to check it out, link in our bio. Thank y'all for tuning in, and be sure to join us here on the couch. Bye. Good job, guys. That was fun.